would use something like cinnamon to make it. God, oh God, Jesus please. Matt Roloff, star of Little People, Big World, and his girlfriend Karen Chandler were involved in an automobile accident. Matt Roloff is undergoing medical treatment after being admitted to the hospital. He is battling death. I'll tell you all about it. Hi there, everybody. We have terrible news that has shocked the TLC community and beyond, and we bring it to you tonight. After a terrible vehicle accident involving his partner Karen Chandler, Matt Roloff, the adored patriarch of Little People, Big World, is fighting for his life tonight. Although specifics are still being worked out, the situation is said to be very serious. Matt is in critical condition after being admitted to a hospital in the Portland region. According to family sources, he is in severe condition and sadly is battling death. Although her status is said to be stable, Karen Chandler was also hurt in the collision. This is a work in progress, and we will provide you with all verified information as soon as it becomes available. Matt Roloff allowed us into his world for more than 20 years. The victories, hardships, and unwavering love and effort that made Roloff Farms a household name. Millions of people admired him because of his tenacity, spirit of entrepreneurship, and commitment to his family in spite of its difficulties. His lifelong girlfriend and farm manager, Karen Chandler, emerged as a pivotal character in both his life and the show. Tonight, their story of overcoming the difficulties of blended families and farm life struck a profound chord. A moment of unspeakable cruelty on an Oregon highway has destroyed that world. Eyewitness testimonies and preliminary law enforcement reports help us piece together what happened in the crash. It took place at approximately 6:45 p.m. yesterday. Highway 26 close to the Oregon town of Banks, Pacific Time. One major impact was the weather. Heavy rain makes the roads slick and reduces vision. The rain was really coming down. A few cars behind, I was. This SUV caught my eye. It appeared to have hydroplaned or struck a deep puddle. It appeared to lose control, fishtailed wildly, and then veered directly into the path of the large rig approaching from the opposite direction. The effect was horrifying. It was merely a horrible crushing noise. I instantly stopped and dialed 911. So did others. We sprinted in its direction, but the devastation was terrible. The driver's side of that SUV was just smashed. The early investigation indicates that Matt Roloff, who was operating this SUV, most likely hydroplaned as a result of the excessive amount of water on the road, according to Oregon State Police. Due to this loss of traction, the car spun out of control, crossed the center line, and struck the oncoming tractor-trailer head-on. The crash was devastating because of the extreme size and weight difference. The side of the SUV that was driven by Matt Roloff took the brunt of the impact. Matt was gently cut free from the wreckage using the jaws of life, a lengthy and intricate extrication procedure that took around 45 minutes, according to emergency services. Karen Chandler was stuck in the front passenger seat as well, but she was released a little earlier. At the scene, the wolves were unconscious. Medics were on the scene working feverishly. It was quickly determined that Matt's injuries were potentially fatal. He was taken to Portland's Oregon Health and Science University, OHSU Hospital, a Level I trauma center prepared to handle the most serious situations, via air ambulance. After being taken by ground ambulance to a neighboring regional hospital, Karen Chandler was then taken to OSU for additional assessment and care of her wounds. Last night, there was a great deal of tension and controlled pandemonium at OSU. Matt Roloff was critically ill when he arrived. Speaking under strict secrecy due to patient privacy restrictions, our sources inside the hospital described the terrifying struggle that started as soon as he stepped into the trauma bay. It was the worst possible. Multiple serious injuries affecting various body systems is known as polytrauma. Significant chest trauma, probable broken ribs, lung contusions, possible internal bleeding, major head trauma with suspected bleeding, and extremity injuries, including complex fractures, were all complicated by his dwarfism, the impact's biomechanics, and pre-existing stresses on his spine and joints. He had erratic vital signs. It was touch and go at once. He immediately entered emergency surgery. Hours were spent working by the surgical team. The main priorities were halting the internal bleeding and reducing the pressure brought on by his brain's swelling. According to reports, a craniotomy was carried out by surgeons, who removed a portion of the skull to give the brain space to grow and stop additional harm. Additionally, they treated potentially fatal internal injuries in his chest and abdomen. Given his general state of health and the intricacy of his skeletal anatomy, the procedure was extremely risky. After the lengthy procedure, Matt was moved to the NCCU, or Neurocritical Care Unit. He's still there tonight, under close observation and deeply sedated on a ventilator to help him breathe. His status is classified as critical but stable, which means that while he is not currently getting worse, he is nonetheless in a very precarious position. It is said that the next 24 to 72 hours are vital. There is still a very significant chance of infection, subsequent brain damage, and other issues. Despite not being as quickly fatal as Matt's, Karen Chandler's experience was nonetheless horrifying and traumatic. She sustained several fractures. There are reports of a cracked clavicle, a broken arm, and broken ribs. She suffered multiple cuts and bruises in addition to a severe concussion. It is impossible to quantify the emotional toll of seeing the guy she loves sustain such severe injuries just a few feet away. She was brought in for monitoring and care. She is allegedly very disturbed and severely drugged for pain, but she is nonetheless cognizant and understandably very focused on Matt's condition. For the Roloff family, the news was like a physical blow. In the dead of night, calls were placed. According to reports, one of the first people informed was Amy Roloff, Matt's ex-wife and longtime friend, as well as the mother of his kids. She is described as saddened yet stepping up by family members, going to the hospital right away to be there for her kids and support them despite their difficult past. It's complete destruction. The children Zach, Jeremy, Jacob, and Molly are in pieces. They hurry to the medical facility. There's just this denial, this numbness. Amy is devastated for Matt, fearful for her children. The grandchildren are perplexed. Everything suddenly stops on the farm. Only important thing is that Matt makes it through. Right now, the family dynamics and old conflicts don't matter. Their hope and their terror are the same. Tonight, Rel, the hive of activity and the location of most of Matt's life's work, is eerily silent. Operations are permanently halted. The fervent desire for Matt's survival overshadows the future of the farm, the future of small people, and the future of the entire globe. With their own families and businesses, Jeremy and Roloff have put everything on wait. Alongside their father are Jacob and his spouse, Isabel. It is believed that Molly, who lives farther away, is going to Portland. At the hospital, the family has kept vigil. Overwhelmed by the circumstances, they have not yet released any official statements. A close family spokesperson simply said, "The family requests privacy during this incredibly difficult time. They are focused solely on Matt's recovery and appreciate everyone's thoughts and prayers more than words can express." News of the accident spread like wildfire, igniting an unprecedented wave of shock and grief across social media and fan communities. The hashtag Pray for Matt Roloff exploded globally, trending within hours. Fans who grew up watching Matt build his farm, raise his family, and overcome countless obstacles shared their memories and heartfelt prayers. Fellow TLC stars and personalities from across the reality TV landscape also voiced their support. Messages poured in from the Browns of Sister Wives, the Bates family, and many others expressing their shock and offering prayers. The network TLC released a brief statement. "We are heartbroken to learn about the accident involving Matt Roloff and Karen Chandler. Our thoughts and deepest prayers are with Matt, Karen, and their entire family during this incredibly difficult time. We ask for the public to respect their privacy. At Roloff Farms, despite the family's absence, fans have begun to gather. A small impromptu memorial of flowers, candles, and handwritten notes is growing at the main gate, a tangible expression of the love and hope pouring out for Matt and Karen. While the immediate battle to save Matt's life continues in the NCCU, medical experts we've consulted emphasize the long uncertain road that lies ahead. If he stabilizes sufficiently. Surviving the initial trauma and surgery is the first monumental hurdle. If Mr. Roloff stabilizes, the focus shifts to minimizing secondary damage, preventing infections like pneumonia, managing intracranial pressure, and supporting his other injured organs. The extent of his brain injury won't be fully known until sedation is carefully reduced, which could be days or even weeks away. Recovery from severe traumatic brain injury is unpredictable. It can involve weeks or months in intensive care, followed by extensive rehabilitation, relearning basic functions, addressing potential cognitive deficits, physical therapy for his other injuries. It's a marathon, not a sprint, requiring immense resilience from the patient and the family. The investigation into the exact cause of the accident continues. Oregon State Police are reconstructing the scene, examining vehicle data recorders, if functional, reviewing witness statements, and assessing factors like vehicle speed, road conditions, and potential mechanical failure. Toxicology reports are standard, but take time. While hydroplaning is the leading theory, nothing is conclusive yet. Could road conditions have been better managed? Was speed a factor? These are questions investigators will seek to answer. For Karen Chandler, her physical recovery will be painful but more straightforward. Weeks of healing fractures, managing concussion symptoms, and physical therapy. The psychological scars, however, witnessing such trauma and fearing for her partner's life, will likely take far longer to heal. She faces her own arduous journey back to wellness. In the face of such overwhelming tragedy, the story tonight is not just one of devastation, but also of fierce love and unwavering hope. The image of the Roloff children, Amy and Karen, despite everything, united in their vigil, speaks volumes about the bonds that tie this family together, even through past difficulties. Matt Roloff is known for his indomitable spirit. His entire life has been a testament to overcoming the odds stacked against him due to his dwarfism. He built an empire from the ground up, literally and figuratively. He faced complex family challenges in the public eye. He possesses a fighter's heart. Doctors may use terms like critical and guarded prognosis, but those who know Matt Roloff speak of his sheer willpower. If anyone can fight their way back from this, it's Matt. One longtime friend tearfully confided, "The global outpouring of prayers and positive energy is palpable. Millions are holding Matt and Karen in their thoughts tonight. That collective hope, that focused intention, while intangible, creates a powerful force surrounding the family." Matt Roloff's story has always been about defying limitations, about dreaming big, working hard, and loving fiercely. Tonight, he faces his greatest challenge. He is fighting the hardest battle of his life. Surrounded by the love of his family, the prayers of millions, and the dedicated efforts of a world-class medical team. His body is broken, but the spirit that defines Matt Roloff, that spirit is still in there fighting. We at Motion 24 are keeping Matt Roloff and Karen Chandler in our deepest thoughts and prayers. We are also thinking of their children, their grandchildren, Amy, and the entire extended family and close friends enduring this unimaginable pain. We urge everyone to respect their profound need for privacy during this critical time. More update: how Matt Roloff's rubbing his happiness in Amy's face. Matt Roloff is petrified. His relationship with fiancée Karen Chandler could change when they get married. On the most recent edition of Little People Big World, the TV personality discussed his inner turmoil about the prospect of marriage. Little People Big World's featured star Matt Roloff is looking forward to spending the rest of his life with his girlfriend Karen Chandler, but the couple may be reconsidering their wedding plans. On the most recent episode of the hit TLC show, 62-year-old Matt opened up to his friends, including Amy's husband Chris Myrick, about how petrified he is to tie the knot again. In spite of his earlier statement that he cannot imagine himself with anybody other than Karen, the reality star expressed his worry that their relationship will undergo a transformation after they exchange vows. When Matt's friend Ta saw that he seemed scared, Matt decided to open up about how petrified he is of getting married during a relaxing evening at his log cabin. The reality star made public his afraid conversation with his fiancée, to whom he proposed in April of last year, about their relationship's potential failure, despite the fact that everything is working so beautifully right now. After all, do not fix what is not broke is our motto. As Matt put it, that whole procedure has started. We have been married and love it. So, it is not that we have anything against marriage in general, but is it really necessary to do that? He said, for the time being, the 56-year-old Roloff Farms owner and Karen are simply taking it easy and enjoying their engagement. He explained, "It is safe." The famous TV personality told his friends, "Whenever we bring it up, we always promise to revisit the subject in a few weeks, months, or whatever." Chris, 61, revealed that he had experienced something similar prior to his marriage to Amy in 2021, in an effort to comfort his friend, with whom he had grown closer in recent months. Anxiety sis was his second emotion. He said, "At 59 years old, I certainly did not feel obligated to tie the knot." Innumerable stories of long-term couples whose relationships drastically changed at the altar have been told to me, though. Fortunately, that was not the case. Nothing changed, the realtor continued. The LPB Dilv actor and Karen talked about how they were securing their Arizona property to test the waters for the next chapter of their relationship. "We have begun to wonder, hey, does this alter anything?" He disclosed that they had talked about returning to their wedding plans once they were certain the mansion was real, perhaps with the exception of selling your house and moving in. Matt went on, "We are thinking about all of our possibilities, and we value marriage and its principles very highly." In April of last year, Matt and Karen got engaged. They've been together for 6 years. In the words of the reality TV personality who made the declaration, "I proposed to Karen after we were together for 6 amazing years, and she accepted," People exclusively reported. "Our engagement is something we plan to cherish, and we look forward to a small yet elegant wedding in 2024. According to a related announcement, after 25 seasons, Zach and Tori Roloff have decided to retire from Little People, Big World. We've closed that section. The couple first had a romantic relationship when Karen worked at Roloff Farms. Later, Matt talked about how happy he was to be engaged. The businessman shared his May Instagram post, which said, "Creating TV shows and primarily just enjoying my engagement and time with Karen." He went on to tell his fans, "So, I did. You guys kept pushing me to put a ring on her." Matt and Amy, who co-starred in LPB Dolly, were married for 28 years before divorcing in 2015. How Amy is being irritated by Matt Roloff's joy. After his divorce with Amy Roloff, Matt Roloff, star of Little People, Big World, is having a great time with his new girlfriend, Karen Chandler. However, it appears that he is attempting to impose his happiness on Amy. Matt's treatment of Amy is a clear indication of his exaggerated feeling of self-importance. Matt was too responsible for the conflict in the Roloff household. Zach, his child, and his father's divorce from Amy had severely strained their relationship, as evidenced by their time spent in the desert, attending a performance with Karen's father, and a few others. During a concert in May 2024, a picture of Matt and his fiancée Karen Chandler was posted online, showing them having a great time and enjoying every second. attending a desert performance and spending time with Karen's parents and friends. The patriarch of the Roloff family captioned the photograph with a bright portrait of Matt and Karen, writing, "Enjoying ourselves and living our best lives." It was as if Matt felt obligated to persuade Amy and his family that he could live better apart from them. Without regard for their disapproval, the Little People Big World actor flaunted his new life to his family. Apart from the happy photo with Karen, Matt was consistently abusive to Amy. Even though they were still legally married, Amy accused Matt of having an affair with Karen. This accusation is a serious violation of confidence if proven true. When it comes to selling off a section of the family farm without first talking to Amy or their kids, Matt demonstrates a complete lack of consideration for Amy's interests and feelings. This action further exacerbated their rift, and Matt was to blame. In the years following their split, Matt routinely displayed rude behavior toward Amy. None of the criticism dampened Matt's spirits. On his Facebook page, where he explained his answers in detail, he hinted to the 5 most popular questions people had asked him on Instagram. Despite playing the villain in Little People Big World, Matt has been forthright once his non-disclosure agreement expired. In his Facebook post, Matt said, "No matter how much you complain about the family's inseparable feuds, and we do see the comments, the ratings keep going up, and it is getting harder and harder to keep up the same level of content." In response to his detractors, Matt basically said that the drama was the show's hook. Matt spared no one when it came to proclaiming his admirers. Then he went on to say that despite what they might think, viewers actually favor romantic tension over joyful endings. There are less on-screen interactions between the cast members as production becomes more challenging, with Chris and Karen joining the ensemble and assisting to replace certain family members. Matt seemed more remorseful and less vindictive as he went into detail about the property. As a father, Matt says he was put in a tough spot when Zach and Jeremy Roloff expressed interest in purchasing the big house. Matt had a lot on his plate between his financial circumstances, the demands of his family, and the stringent Oregon regulations governing property split. The weightiest thing, the father said, was being fair to all 4 of his children and grandchildren. Many of the accusations leveled against Matt appeared to have reasonable justifications. He may have merely wished to be fair, even if the show portrayed him as cold and uncaring toward Amy and his children. Another possibility is that he was trying to cover up his mistakes without accepting responsibility, which would explain his defensive behavior. Little People Big World star Matt Roloff fears guests at Oregon farm filmed dirty, obscene stuff during their stay and vows to make new no pornos rule. Little People Big World's 25th season on TLC, and actor Matt Roloff made an odd confession. Roloff, 62, was on his Oregon property when his fiancée Karen Chandler returned from her vacation to Arizona. Heat brought up the fact that their prior guest had been filming things there. The confession came months after Audrey Roloff had announced her pregnancy to the world, and Roloff confessed that they had no knowledge if the people filming were capturing removians on people's actions are becoming more stringent. In his conversation with Karen, he warned her against creating a Remo-Vihi video on their property. Even though Chandler had no idea what kind of films were being produced, he yet managed to giggle and wonder how though he did not want their house to be identified, Chandler inquired, "How did you know what kind of recordings were being filmed?" Whether we would or would not, someone would chuckle as soon as it appeared and ask, "Isn't that the Roloff living room?" Then Roloff went on. First put up for sale on Roloff's farm was the huge house in May 2022. Just a few months down the road in October, he turned it into a vacation rental. The concept of short-term rentals has been a huge success. "We are almost fully booked," Roloff says further in the introduction. "I will engage in this short-term renting at the moment due to the uncertain economic situation, but my end objective remains the sale of the north side," he stated. Roloff brought up problems with other renters in addition to the potential X-rated ones. You might imagine these lovely tiny families when you undertake these short-term rentals. He mentioned Grandma and the kids to Chandler, who made a joke about it being like a Roloff reunion. Every circumstance is different, he confessed. But of the 20 or 30 that we have had so far, referring to the one occurrence in particular, there will be groups that are great, and then there will be groups that are fascinating, like the time someone tried to wash wine glasses down the drain and ended up sending shards of glass flying everywhere. Look, there was a pool cue in the wall, he said. Audrey Roloff announced her pregnancy with her fourth child with husband Jeremy a few months before the broadcast. The Little People Big World performers already have a daughter, Ember, who is 6 years old, and two sons, Bode and Radley, who are 3 and 2 years old respectively. The happy couple posted a touching family video to Instagram on Monday to announce the news. In hushed tones, the relatives shared the news as they formed a line amidst the picturesque autumn foliage. In response to young Bradley's announcement that he would be a big brother at the line's end, Jeremy raised a middle finger. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.